What is up, YouTube? This is Chris, your professional dad, and I'm back with another knife video. I absolutely love collecting knives. I love it. I've been doing it for about 2 years. I've been using knives my whole life. Thought I knew what I thought I knew, but I had no clue. And I've realized that over the last couple of years, and I've been so blessed and fortunate to grow, to learn, to meet good people, to learn from good people, but also to get a lot of great knives. A lot of knives that I absolutely do not deserve. And the month of February 2025 was my best month yet. It was an absolutely fantastic month for my collecting journey. I got a lot of great knives. I probably learned more in a 28-day period than I have in the entire 2 years of collecting. And what I want to do right now is share with you my best knives of February 2025. These are the best knives that I got this month. They're not all the knives that I got this month. This was a big month for my knife collecting journey. But these are the best premium knives of 2025, February. But before I get into those, welcome to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you very much. Tomorrow, it's here, guys. It's March the 2nd right now. Tomorrow is March the 3rd. We've been waiting on this for a couple months. It's the big giveaway. So it's the last 2 days. If you're not part of it right now, you need to, right now, you need to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and go over and watch the other video. Huge knife budget giveaway. It's only a few minutes long. Leave a comment on that video so you can be in the giveaway with us. Our community is growing every single day. I'm ecstatic to know each and every one of you all and get and develop relationships with you guys. I told somebody last night, the best part about this journey is not the knives. I love the knives. And whether I was making this channel or not, I would still be collecting knives. But what I would not have is relationships with people like you. And that's what makes this important to me. And I appreciate it very much, and I want each and every one of you all to know that. So thank you. I appreciate it greatly. And tomorrow, I'm going to get to show you all my appreciation with our huge knife budget giveaway. So again, like this video, subscribe to my channel, go watch that video, leave a comment, and tomorrow we are going to have some fun. Remember, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going live. Now, I won't be on it all night long because I've got kids to raise, and that's a hard job. But I will be able to spend some time with you guys. All right. Now, I've rambled on long enough. Let's talk knives. The very first knife that I'm going to show you guys, and by the way, this is in no particular order. I thought about doing the whole, like an order, a tier system. With the last one I showed be the #1 knife of the month. And I love these daggone knives so much I couldn't put them in order. It's like choosing my kids. I can't pick one. I don't care what the value or cost is. I love them all. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go through them and show you all my knives. The very first one that I got in February 2025 that I'm absolutely tickled to death to own is this Kizer Tition, or Tian, or however you want to say it, because I don't know how to say it. I grew up in Kentucky, and we say y'all and jeet and stuff like that. So stuff French like this or whatever Tian is, I'm out. But it is what it is. The knife, I'm in. This thing is fantastic. Titanium handles, S35 VM blade. Look at this beautiful, beautiful knife. The fullers going down the middle on both sides, those aren't fullers. Those are Grand Canyons in the middle of the knife. I mean, this thing, it's a smaller knife, smaller than I usually like. Excellent action. It's fidgety. It's a frame lock, just all around. Excellent quality. It's a beautiful knife. Kizer makes such great products, fantastic products. Kizer is one of my favorite brands by far because they have so many different options, all the way down to your budget. I mean, budget options at $30, $40. And they make some really good fixed blades. EDC fixed blade, the smaller EDC fixed blades at $40, $50, all the way up to where now they're getting into that $300, $400 range, trying to step up their game. So I appreciate Kizer. I love what they're doing. And knives like this right here make it a joy to buy Kizers and to own them. The Kizer Tition. If you have smaller hands and you want a premium fixed blade that's not going to break the bank, this thing is on Blade HQ for around $160. Now you can find it cheaper on Amazon and stuff, but you guys know me. I'm always pitching Blade HQ because I love Blade HQ. But you can find it cheaper other places. Fantastic knife, guys. S35 VN, titanium handles, smaller knife. It's a smaller knife. So if you like those big, heavy, bulky knives like I do, this might not be your cup of tea. But if you like quality, you're in. Trust me, this is a fantastic knife. The next knife is a knife that I just got. I've not had it very long. And when it comes to beautiful, this knife is at the top of the list. And it is the Concept Baba Yaga. This thing is fantastic. Look at that Timascus. This is the only knife that I have that has Timascus. It has both sides, has a little bit of Timascus on it, has a titanium milled pocket clip, a frame lock, S35 VN blade. This thing is absolutely fantastic. I'm telling you right now. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is a 20 CV blade. Apologies. I make mistakes like that all the time, and it ain't going to stop. Trust me, I'll make another mistake or two before the end of this video. It is what it is. I do catch them though, and if I don't, I promise you this, somebody's going to catch them in the comments and let me know. I wish that there was a way that you could go into the comments and you could hit fix the video and it would automatically fix the video for you. But because not everybody's going to read the comments and be like, oh, okay, he corrected it right there. But few people read the comments and they'll see where it was corrected in the comment section, but that does nothing for the people that, you know, see the video. But regardless, it's a 20 CV blade. Is this the most practical knife? Absolutely not. Is this a knife that I would carry in EDC? No. This thing is 330 bucks. I ain't EDCing this thing nowhere. Now, a lot of people would, and I applaud that. I respect the heck out of it, and that is exactly what should be done. This just ain't my style. I'm a knife collector. I like all knives, every knife, so I want this knife. I love this knife. I'm ecstatic to own this knife. Now, using the knives, though, is different. And if you are somebody that buys knives to use, then I would say you're crazy to buy a knife that you would not use. But again, and I get heat for this in the comments a lot. People are like, oh, you got to use them. You got to use. I am a knife collector. I collect knives. I am physically not able to go out and use my knives in hard use areas and situations. Plus, I'm not able to because I raise kids and I don't have a lot of time to go out and beat up on my knives and stuff. So they get very limited use. All of my knives do. And if I'm going to be using a knife, it's going to be a knife that I actually want to use, that I like, that I like to feel in the hand. The larger knives, the big bulky knives, that fit my hands and feel good in my hands. These are knives that I buy because they're beautiful and I want to collect them. It is what it is. Guys that buy cars, they're outrageous and expensive supercars. They're not driving them a lot and putting a whole lot of miles on them. They're just keeping them in their garage and they look at them. They'll turn them on every once in a while, listen to the engine rev, and they sit there because they understand that the more miles that are on that car, the more that car depreciates. So they take care of that car, they keep it looking nice, and they look at it and they appreciate it and they enjoy it in that way. And that's the way I enjoy my knives. So I understand that that's not for everybody, but for me, this Baba Yaga is a knife that I'm going to look at, appreciate, and just take in the quality that Concept has put into this little package, because this is fantastic. And I understand that not everybody's going to agree with me on my principles, on my philosophies, on my views on these things. And that's the great thing about knife collecting. That's the great thing about life. We don't have to agree. It's not something to get upset about. It's not something to attack me over. Let's exchange our views. You think your way, I think my way, and we come together on it. We don't have to argue over it. You don't have to attack me over it. It is what it is. They're just knives. It's petty. There's people in this world starving right now. A knife is the smallest thing that we have to worry about. This knife, though, let me tell you. Thank you, Ken Faulkner. This is the Spyderco Smock. Let me say that again. This is the Spyderco Smock. One more time, just for those of you who do not know, because those who do know carry Spyderco. This is the Spyderco Smock. Yes. Boom. Button compression lock. Fidgety as all get out. This is an EDC dream right here. It is not your typical. It's not your typical. Did I talk about growing up in Kentucky? This is not your typical Spyderco. It does not have the typical blade shape. Now you do have your typical Spidey hole, but it's not the typical look of a Spyderco. But it's the typical quality of Spyderco. And that's what makes this thing fantastic. You've got your G10 carbon fiber overlay, whatever you want to call this. Handles, absolutely fantastic. You've got a left or right hand pocket clip. Now, it's not your typical left hand, right hand tip up or tip down. It doesn't go that way. It's strictly tip up. But it is left hand or right hand, so you can reverse the pocket clip. Fantastic knife. I mean, this thing is fantastic. It's S30V. I mean, I love this knife. It's got a hollow grind. That button compression lock. I mean, this thing is fantastic. This is an EDC dream right here. This is if Spyderco took everything that they had going on for them and they improved that compression lock just a little bit. They made their knives just a little bit more universally appealing and EDC friendly. And they put all of that into a package. All the quality, all the craftsmanship, the engineering, the warranty, the American made. This is made in Taiwan. It is not American made. So again, I told you I'm going to make 3 or 4 more. Listen, if you're here for the mistakes, you're in for a treat, because I've got several knives to go, and man, I can only imagine I'm going to be calling knives the wrong thing and everything by the time I get to the end of this. I'm going to be calling Microtechs Tenables, or I'll say something wrong. Trust me, it's going to happen. This is made in Taiwan, but it's close to America. Ain't that on our shores or something? That's right next to Hawaii. I'm joking. I did grow up in Kentucky, but I do know geography. I can read a map. I just needed to read the map before I looked at this knife. But regardless, this is a Spyderco Smock. And this thing is fantastic. I don't care where it's made. This thing is fantastic. Now, I've heard that they're doing some other things with Smocks and some other things with Spydercos and stuff like that. And they've got some other ones coming out. I can't wait for that new line that I've got a couple right now on the pre-order and stuff. I can't wait for these new ones that are coming out. They've got some great stuff coming out. Spyderco is definitely one of my top 2 brands, and I have so many Spydercos, not enough, but I've got a lot. All right, let's move on. This is absolutely my new favorite knife. No question. My new favorite knife across the board. The Mordax, it's, I don't know, guys. The Mordax is hard to beat. My Mordax is hard to beat. But this thing is fantastic. And it is the Spartan Blades Astor. I've not put this knife down since I got it. I have carried it nonstop. This is the best feel in the hand on the table, no question. This thing is massive, it's bulky, it's strong, it's got XHP steel handle, or a steel blade, Told you I'm gonna mess up constantly. Dual thumb studs, excellent jimping on top. It's a liner lock, steel liner. This thing is remarkable. Thank you, shout out to Gideon's Tactical. If you're not subscribed to Gideon's Tactical and you're not aware, Gideon's Tactical is one of the best channels on YouTube, in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic. He's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He doesn't need me vouching for him. But let me tell you, I love Gideon's Tactical. He is so well spoken. He represents his brands that he talks about and the knives and different things. He does it in such a cool, classy way. very informative, very descriptive, he elaborates what needs to be elaborated, and he cuts the fat. He trims away the BS, and he just gives you the facts. And I loved Gideon's Tactical. And he talked about this knife, and I jumped on it because I love Spartan blades and what they represent and who they are, and I want to support them. And I got it honestly just for that fact. I was not expecting to love the knife as much as I love this. This knife is fantastic. Fantastic. If you want a good knife that is a beater knife that feels good in the hand, feels like excellent quality, because it is, right here, the Spartan Blades Astor. XHP handle, excellent jimping on top, dual thumb studs. This knife is out of this world. Now, anybody that knows me knows when I first started collecting, that I had two knives that I wanted more than anything, grill knives. I wanted Sabenza. I didn't care what it was. I just wanted a Sabenza. And I wanted a Chaves knife. I was so in love with the Chaves pocket clip and the Chaves look. I wanted one. And I got my Chaves knives. I got a few of them. And I'm very blessed and fortunate. But they also cost a lot of money. So one of the things that Chaves did was they found a way, like I said about what Gideon's Tactical does, he trims away a lot of the fat. What Chaves knives did was they trimmed away some of the excesses and the fat that brings it up to that $300 to $350 price point. They trimmed away some of that stuff. That's necessary. It is necessary. And when you want the full experience of Chaves, you want the full experience. But if you can't afford it, or you don't want to pay it just to have the titanium or the carbon fiber or the size, you want the Chaves, you want the quality, but you don't have to have all that extra. You just want a really good knife. They came out with the blue label. Now, I've been told by a particular person, oh, they're not the same. They're not the same. How dare you say that? They are not the same. They are not the same. That person is 100% right. They are not. This does not have the, like I said, carbon fiber, titanium. It's not the same size. It is not the same size. They shrunk them down. This is titanium. This is not. This is micarta. This is steel liners instead of titanium. It comes with this pocket clip, but it does come with the additional skull pocket clip that you can put on it. This one came with the skull pocket clip, but it came with this pocket clip extra that you could put on it. This does feel, though, even though it's trimmed down and it doesn't have the same quality materials, it does have the same quality craftsmanship, the same quality feel in the hand. It is fantastic. You get the experience of a Chaves without all the excesses that Chaves has to offer. So if you're on a budget, but you really want to experience a Chaves just to know what they feel like, just so that you can say you have a Chaves, just so that you can carry a knife with that skull pocket clip, which is what it was all about for me. Boom, right here you go. Just switch out the pocket clip and you're good to go. This is it right here. Now this is the Redencion, and you can get it in drop point or this Tonto tip right here. Micarta handles, liner lock, steel liners. It's a smaller knife, but it's fantastic. The jimping is the jimping that I like, where it's not those lines and marks in the steel. It's the gouges and the grooves and the ravines that go through the steel. That's this jimping. I love it. Now, if this at 165 is not your cup of tea, still just a little bit more than what you want to spend, or you want something that's a little bit more, maybe smaller, more fifth pocket carry, or you just really want to save as much money as you can, but again, still experience the Chaves, boom, here you go. The TAK. I will not say what it stands for because children might watch this video. My kids will, and they will not hear that come out of my mouth. So it stands for TAK. Look it up. I've been alerted a couple times. I didn't know what that stood for, but people have told me in the comments. Again, I'm not going to say that. Now, around my friends, absolutely. I'll say that and worse. But around anything where a child or someone who is not cool with that, you ain't gonna hear it coming out of my mouth. It just ain't gonna do it. It's not what comes in your mouth that makes you unclean. It's what makes you come out, or what makes you come. It's not what goes in your mouth that makes you unclean. It's what comes out of your mouth that makes you unclean. That whole thing, kind of, you know, just couth. It is what it is. I'm not gonna cuss. That's basically the moral of my story. This is everything that I said about this knife on a smaller version. Even smaller than this one is this one, the TAK. And again, look up what the meaning is and you'll understand why it's so small. Now, reversible pocket clip. I have been alerted that this one is reversible as well. It just doesn't look it. But underneath in the frame liner, there is the holes, the pre-drilled holes. So if you do want to make the holes in this, I haven't taken it apart. If that's wrong, I apologize. I have been alerted, and the person that alerted me, thank you very much. You know who you are. We talk all the time. I believe them, and I trust them completely because they do a lot of work on knives, and they know what they're talking about. So I believe them. So this is reversible as well. You just have to drill the holes in the micarta. This one has the holes already drilled. So this is reversible pocket clip. It still has that jimping that I like. It's just a smaller knife. For me, this is a fifth pocket carry right here. Fifth pocket carry, fantastic knife, still Chaves quality. All right, let's move on. I probably should have put this knife at the end because this is one of the best knives I've ever seen in my life. I know some people don't agree, but to me, this knife is fantastic. Just picking it up, man, I gotta take a breath. It is the Quiet Carry Drift LCT. I'm not even gonna say anything. We're just gonna sit here and look at this. Let's have a moment of silence in honor of Quiet Carry and the quality work that they've put into this. I'm joking. It is what it is, guys. This thing is fantastic. Fantastic. If you want a good daggone knife, you have to hold this in your hands to experience it. It is next level, out of this world. Shut the front door. If my mom was still around, I'd say somebody smack me and call my mom. Because this thing is crazy good. I can't believe I waited so long. I didn't even know about this brand. I had no idea. Louis the Knife Addict told me, said, because I reached out to him and said, what's the knife that I want to get in this price range? He told me, he said, you got to get this knife. And trust me, when you get it, you're going to understand. I didn't even have to pull it out of the box. I just opened the box and the light hit me. You ever watch that movie Pulp Fiction? You know, it never shows you what's in the briefcase, but it opens it up and you just see that glow take over Samuel L. Jackson. That's what it was like. I looked up, I said, what is that? Who is singing? Because I hear somebody singing when I looked at this knife in the box. Because, man, I heard the music play. This thing is fantastic. I don't know what's into me this morning. I had blood pressure problems last night and headaches, and this morning I woke up just ready to go because I'm holding knives like this right here. This thing is fantastic, guys. The Quiet Carry Drift, a liner lock. The titanium is next level, out of this world. It's got an LC200N clip or a lock bar. It's made for corrosion resistance. It's got Vanex super clean steel. This thing ain't cheap, but cheap things ain't good. I'm going to tell you that right now. And this ain't good. This is phenomenal. The Quiet Carry Drift LCT. And somebody told me today about some other Quiet Carries, the Waypoint. And I'm telling you right now, if this is as good as this is, and they tell me how good the Waypoint is, you know who you are. Oh, man. Yes, please. May I have some more? You can't have any pudding if you don't teach your meat. Well, I've already eaten my meat right here. Now let me have some Waypoint pudding. This thing right here is a work of art. To me, I don't know about any of you all. I'm 50 years old. Well, I'm almost 50. I'm on the verge. I'm 49. My birthday is in August 12th. You know, I'm an old man pretty much. I can't believe it. I don't feel that way up here. But my body feels 80, you know what I'm saying? But I say it all the time. I tell my kids, you guys are so unlucky. You guys are growing up in the age of technology, of AI, of all this craziness. that's going on in the world right now. It's the worst time and it's the best time mixed into one. But you will never be lucky enough to have grown up in the 80s, because to me, the 80s was the year of Rambo, Commando, Die Hard, E.T., I mean, Indiana Jones, Super Mario Brothers, Mike Tyson Punch-Out, the Coke and Pepsi Wars, Michael Jackson got his hair burnt off. I mean, come on, the moonwalk. Let me get started up in here. I would if I could, but I can't dance. My legs are hurting too bad. But I'm telling you, the 80s is the best. And this 80s carbon fiber camo, oh man, it takes me back. Just looking at this knife right here. This S35 coated blade, this milled pocket clip, this liner lock. Oh my gosh, this knife is fantastic. I love this knife. I love the full-size Mini Momo. Don't tell me ever that they're going to do this to the full-size Mini Momo. I will hurt somebody to get that knife. If they're sold out, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to storm one of the knife retailers until they restock them, because I'll have to have that knife. This thing is fantastic. I can't imagine how much I'd love the full size. This is awesome. The Kizer Mini Momo, the new releases that they just done are fantastic. They've got one that's $249. This one's $209. The $249 one, I do like a little bit. I won't say better, because I love this 80s carbon fiber camo. I love that. But I do like that purple look and stuff of the one that's $249. I do like that a lot. But I'm completely content, happy, tickled to death, and blessed and fortunate to have this one right here. This is fantastic. You want you a good knife, and you're a Kizer fan like I am. I already spoke about it with this knife right here, the Kizer Mini Momo. Excellent knife. This knife is great. This is a little EDC powerhouse right here. And I love this brand. I love them so much, I don't buy knives from them. I buy everything else. Knives are just the icing on the cake, and it's big idea design. This is their titanium folding pocket knife. I've got the lookout right back here. Their fixed blade, their mini fixed blade. Now they have the number 2 for this, which is a little bit bigger. It's sold out everywhere, even on Blue Ridge, which is where I buy a lot of my knives. Blue Ridge is even sold out. That tells me that this is a popular knife. This one's not sold out at Blue Ridge, so I can still get this one. But fantastic knife. It's a little bit smaller than what I like. It's a 3.5 finger handle. You know, if I really hold it the way I need to hold it, it's a 3-finger handle. But decent jimping on top. The thing that makes this thing awesome is not the handle, even though it's got titanium handles and it does come with the lanyard to give you that extra real estate. But honestly, it doesn't do anything for me, that lanyard. Some people like it and may get a little bit of extra grip out of that lanyard. For me, it does nothing. If I'm going to use a lanyard to get extra real estate, it needs to be a lot thicker and bulkier than this. But the handle and the frame lock are fantastic, that titanium, and I like the look of it. It's just a little small. The blade, this, they call it a drop point, but this spear blade, this spear-shaped blade, this is a really excellent shape for EDC. Great piercing point right here that's strong, reinforced. It's got a lot of spine behind it, so it can take some abuse. Just an all-around great blade, S35 VN. I mean, this thing is fantastic. It really is. It's fantastic. You got your thumb hole here, but that's not for flicking. It is almost like a traditional knife. Now, you don't have to do it that way because it does have a little bitty flipper there. I've got my blade so tight, in case you're not noticing, because when I first pulled this out of the box, there was a little bit of blade play, and it does come with a bit driver on purpose, because I guess they do that. They make it loose in the box so that people can tighten it to their own liking. And I tightened it all the way. I tightened it too far, so I need to loosen it up just a little bit. But see, it's very tight. But I will fix that now that I realize how tight I actually got it. But the blade It is made not for flicking and fidgeting. It's made to be open like a traditional knife. This is a fantastic knife. For me, this is another 5th pocket carry. This knife, I'm in love with this brand, mainly for their fixed blades, but Zach told me to get this. He wanted to see this. Both knives that he suggested in that comment, I got them both and reviewed them for him. Both of them, the budget knife and this knife, both fantastic. I love this, and it is this one right here. Man, this thing is so daggone nice. Tops makes such good stuff. They really do. This is a Fox and Tops collaboration knife called the Thunderhawk. Now, this is like a tactical, military, police, law enforcement style knife, self-defense knife, whatever you want. I mean, people do say that you can do other things with it. It can take a lot more of abuse because it is 1095, a coated 1095 blade. It has a flat, level right there, like a little ledge to put your thumb on. There's jimping in this little ramp right here, this little thumb ramp, but actually to choke up on it, you don't have any jimping on top of the blade, but it's got a Tonto tip, as you see. Excellent grind work, a good swedge on top of there, which makes it good for piercing, poking, different things like that. Now you've got titanium frame lock on one side, and you've got extremely aggressive, gritty textured G10 on the other, which is going to make it great for those situations where you are in a tactical self-defense type military law enforcement situation. If you're wearing gloves and stuff like that, you want something that you can actually hold on to that's not going to slip out of your hand, slide around, stuff like that. If your hands get wet or anything, there's a reason they call it wet work, and it ain't water, if you know what I mean. But this right here is going to give you that traction and that grip. Just an all-around fantastic knife. They've milled it out a lot, made a lot of holes in there to make it lighter, more nimble, and for moving and stuff. Fantastic knife. Fantastic knife. I love it because it's a Tops. I love the look of it. It's excellent quality. If I was to list my top tactical knives that I have, and I've got a lot of them, this is probably number 1 or number 2. My 0350 from Zero Tolerance, man, it's hard to beat that knife. But this is a great one as well. I've got some good ones, and this top Thunderhawk is an absolute dream. This knife might surprise you. This knife might surprise you. I wouldn't really call this knife premium, but it's over $100, so I put it in this list. It's a knife that I just became familiar with the brand. I'm blown away by what they offer for their prices. You might know who I'm talking about now. I talked in ad nauseum in the video reviewing the knives about how great the quality was and the materials for their price. And it's Two Sons. I've only got a couple. Now, after my video, I got so lost and passionate about the knives, reviewing them and stuff, and I was so impressed with what they look like, their fit and finish, and the quality, that I took a step back after the video. I was like, hold on. You really made a lot of very, like, definitive statements in that video, and you've only had 2 knives to review. These are your only 2 knives from them. Who's to say that every knife that you get from them is going to be the same way? There's a reason that they cost what they do on Amazon. You're getting them for anywhere from $70 to $200, but this one was like $109, something like that, $120. Titanium, carbon fiber inserts, a D2 blade. If it was S35 or something, it would probably be that $130, $140 price range. But look at it. What a gorgeous, beautiful knife. And I did decide, especially after talking to some people in comments, some people absolutely loved them, was blown away, never had problems with them. Every knife that they get is all quality, on top, on point. They work well. The steel holds up, good heat treats, everything. And then I talked to 1 or 2 people that said, yeah, I've not had the best results from them. They've been hit or miss for me. So I realized that 2 knives might not be enough to make a statement and a decision about the brand. So about Two Sons, I'm still in the dark. I need to get a couple more and really check them out more in depth and get a broader range of their stuff to talk about the brand as a whole. But this knife is another thing. This knife I do have. This knife I have in my hands. I can see it. I can feel it. I feel the action. I hear that. I mean, you hear that? That is so... Listen to that close. Oh, that close is just so satisfying. Oh my gosh. Look at this knife. The fit and finish on this thing is fantastic. Look at that pocket clip. I know that they might be one of those more budget-ended premium knives with the titanium and stuff, and the M390 they offer, the S35VN they offer, different things like that. And I know some people might not be happy with them. But from what I've experienced in this knife, it's all positives. I'm absolutely blown away. I love this knife. I'm thankful and grateful to have it, and I cannot wait to get a few more. Now, the other two Sons knife that I reviewed that day, I love. Not as much as this one, but I did love a lot. It was different. It was awkward. The blade was crazy awesome. But there was more. I could have literally given 2 vehicles an oil change with as much oil that came on that knife. I literally could go out there and knock on my neighbor's door and say, hey, have you had an oil change lately? Don't go to Jiffy Lube. I just got a new knife. I've got some oil to spare. Let me take care of your car for you. That's how much oil was on that daggone knife. But this one, love this knife. And I don't even remember what the brand is or what the name on this is. I think it's a TS something. I can't remember what the model number is. Get a good look. Look up on Amazon. You'll see it. Oh, this is the TS226. I need glasses really bad, and just looking at that number is giving me a headache. It's either TS226 or TS236. But look at this, and you will see it online on Amazon for like $109. Let's move on. Let's get past to the brands that I know for a fact. There ain't no question. I've got more than enough of them to 100% guarantee you they are legit as legit gets. Boom. Enough said. Let's move on. No, I'm joking. Spyderco Military 2. Brown texture G10 handles. 4-position pocket clip. All the things we love from Spyderco. This one is... Hold on. Wait, let me look. Yep. This one is American made. Golden, Colorado. 100% American made. This thing is fantastic. Triple B, Big Brown Bear, Sean Houston, I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's the collaborator with them on this. This is a 15V version. Absolutely beautiful quality. Now this is a tool steel, not a stainless steel. So it's going to take some maintenance because it's not going to have the corrosion resistance that you'll have on your stainless steel blades. But I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'll take the oil off the two Sons and I'll maintenance this thing for 3 years. I'll just put it in the same box and trust me, this knife's going to be good. Compression lock, everything that Spyderco has to offer with a 15V blade, Military 2. I love this thing. It's fantastic. It's got your thumb ramp with excellent jimping. It's got the spider hole. Look at that blade. You want to talk about a tactical blade, a piercing blade, a slicey blade, an EDC blade. Now this might be a little too big for EDC for some people. Not for me. Actually, this is normal for me. I like the bigger, longer, beefier knives and stuff. Not that this is a beefy knife, but it is a bigger and longer knife. It's a big frame. I mean, look at my big 2XL glove hands. How much room is on that? I mean, insane. This thing is insane. They are not cheap, but here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now. It's the only sprint run that I've got. I said this when I reviewed this. I've got a couple limited edition knives, but they are all Benchmade Mel Pardue knives that I bought secondhand at pawn shops from places like that. I've never had a limited edition or a sprint run that I bought brand new. I'm new to that game. I needed to get into that game. I just didn't know anything about it. And if you'd have told me that I could get a Spyderco Military 2 sprint run for just over $200, I would have thought the sprint runs, because they're limited and they're hard to get, I would have thought you're looking at $300 or $400. What? So it's basically the same price of a normal Spyderco, but you're getting a sprint run? Sign me up. Just go ahead and send them to my house and charge me later, Spyderco. You don't need to ask my permission. I'll take them all. You got my address. Call me. Let's move on. When I opened this one, this was the best knife I'd ever held in my hands. I almost cried on video. I did, because I couldn't believe how blessed I was, how fortunate I was. If you knew where I was 2 years ago, I was a broken man. My body was done. I lived in so much pain and agony every day. I was financially broke. I was devastated. I was heartbroken. I was everything that could happen. And then I told somebody last night in an email, one thing happened that started my path back to getting my life back together and stuff. And then another and another and another. You all didn't know I knew the second language, did you? It's called gibberish. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And I got my first step. And I needed that first step to get me to where I am now. And I never, ever would have thought 2 years ago that there would be a day where I would be doing a YouTube video in front of this many people talking about a McNeese knife that I do not even dare to believe that I deserve, because I do not. This thing, it's just a knife. It is, but it's quality. That's the only problem with this knife, and I talked about it in the video. It is impossible to open in my right hand because of that lock, that liner lock. Any amount of pressure at all on that liner lock and it ain't opening. Now if I switch hands, boom, it jumps into place. Titanium, milled titanium, Magna Cut blade. Look at this knife. I'm not going to talk price. Look it up on McNeese. Look this thing up. All right. I don't want to give myself buyer's remorse by talking about the price. Whew. Yeah, I'm telling you, I cannot. That's the only problem with this knife, is how hard it is to open in my right hand. I can't. It's impossible. There is no opening in this knife in my right hand. It's like it's got Loctite on it. It ain't happening. I have to switch to my left hand. Somebody mentioned it in the comments that McNeese and large hands are a match not made in heaven, and I can see why. But I don't care. I don't care if this thing was half as small as it is. I love this knife. Now it's big enough. I mean, look at that. It's big enough for my 4-fingered hands, or my 4-finger grip. It's got excellent jimping. It's got the jimping that I like. See those big gouges taken out right there? That's aggressive jimping. That's what I'm talking about. Dual thumb studs, Magna Cut blade, milled titanium. Fantastic. Fantastic. Could it be a little bit bigger for me? Absolutely. I wish it was a little bit wider, because then I would be able to get a better, if you'll see in my right hand, if I put my fingers back here off the frame lock, it wants to jump out of my hand when I open it, because I have to put so much pressure. I just can't do it. So I have to hold it in my left hand to open it, and it jumps right out. It jumps open easy. The action is phenomenal. But in my right hand, there's just not enough real estate right here for me to put my fingers on and open the blade. It just doesn't work. That's the only, I won't even say complaint, because the knife is made the way that the knife is made. The problem ain't the knife. I knew the way the knife was when I bought it. Buyer beware. If you get it, don't complain about it. You knew what you was getting. I never understood that. Why people buy something and complain about it. You knew what you was buying when you bought it. Now, if it's a fit and finish thing, if it's quality, like if it falls apart, if it breaks, that's different. That's expected. That's something you don't complain about. You complain, you write letters, you email the company, you blast them on, so whatever you want to do. You know, you warn other people, look, this thing is not good. If you buy it, you're wasting your money. It's going to fall apart on you. It's going to break. It's going to do this. But if you buy it and it's not big enough for your hands or something, that's different. It's like, did you not read the descriptions? It's not really the knife. It's the fact that you didn't look at what you was buying. You bought it without evaluating the situation. And then once you got it, you realize, oh, I should have looked at the dimensions. So I'm not going to complain about that. It's my fault, not the knives. I love this thing. I'm so blessed and fortunate. Is it hard for me to open? Yes, very much. But I'll take it. I love that knife. McNeese, excellent quality. You guys do great stuff. Great, great stuff. It's, just look at it. It's beautiful. I love that. That completely dull, like that dull dry look. You see that dull dry? That's not stone wash. That's what is that? That's a different. It's that rustic look. I love that in knives. I've seen some knives online on YouTube, and man, I love that look. There's a lot of really nice titanium frame knives that have that look. That almost, it's not a dirty look, but it's almost a dirty look. See what I'm talking about? I love that look on a blade. This knife, I love this knife. Ken, another knife. Because of you, brother. Because of you. Ken Faulkner. If you guys do not watch Ken Faulkner's videos, you got to. By the way, EDC Reviewer, check out his videos. Knives Gear Insight, check out his videos. There's some great smaller YouTube channels that I learned so much from that you guys have got to be watching. If you want some really good quality information about some knives that you might not see on the bigger channels and more of a personalized touch, I would suggest you check these guys out because they might have some stuff that you want to hear and some knives that you want to see. But regardless, back to the knife. This right here, look at that thing. The Amphibian by Microtech. Now, I had the MSI. I have the MSI. It's right back here. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. I love the MSI. I have talked ad nauseum about the MSI on my channel. I have showed it so many daggone times. It's ridiculous. People probably got tired of seeing my MSI. I love it so much. And then I got this. I mean, this thing is as fidgety as the MSI is. It is unique looking. That blade is, look at that blade, how big that is. If I was around during the Holy Wars, I would be a beast with this. I would go into battle. I would tear up so many wooden and bamboo shields with this sucker right here. Oh my gosh, get out of here. Assassin's Creed, assassin me. You know what I'm saying? With this amphibian right here. Feel like a daggone Navy SEAL. What'd they say about Navy SEALs? What did old dude say about Navy SEALs? He said, if Navy SEALs have water in their canteens, then they're operating in a maritime environment. And this is an amphibian. I feel like I'm in a Navy SEAL maritime environment. I don't even know why I said any of that. It makes no daggone sense. It is what it is. It's a Sunday morning me moment. What do you want me to do? But I love this daggone knife. This thing is fantastic. It's got their lock right here. Excellent lock. It's got their apocalyptic blade style. This is a Bowler M390. Now, people complain about the Bowler M390 hardness on Microtechs. I get that. And this is what I tell everybody. If you are somebody that is going to use and abuse your knives under hard use extreme situations, that is something you need to consider. The H.R. Rockwell chart. you need to look at that and consider the M390 hardness on Microtech. If it's going to be a knife that you're going to be using under hardcore, hard use things, because then you might have some issues. But if you're somebody that's going to be using this knife under normal the ENC convention is going to be coming up this month. It's a new political party that just started. No, it's the EDC. If you're going to be using this under EDC, normal use, normal wear and tear, normal, no extreme stuff, just EDC, a normal carry. Now that doesn't mean you can't beat up on it, you can't do some serious stuff with it. I'm just saying you're not torturing it. Then you're probably never going to care or notice anything about a Rockwell chart. It is what it is. It's steel, it's hard, it's sharp. There you go. And it looks amazing. But if you are going to torture the knife and abuse it in extreme ways, then yes, you do want to consider that. Other than that, it is what it is. I'm not putting my knives to enough torture to ever notice. To me, if this thing was a 40 on the Rockwell chart, I don't care. It's sharp. It looks awesome. I use it, and it does just fine. It cuts everything I want it to cut. I do fine. Now, when I start trying to chop and the blade is bending or the edge won't cut paper, which I wouldn't blame that on a knife. I'd blame it on me if you ever see me try to cut paper. So even that's not a good analogy. But regardless, ultimately, this is an awesome knife. And this is one of the best knives that I got in February. And the last knife that I'm going to talk about for the month of February, and I know there's been a lot of knives, but this is not even half the knives I've got in February. The last knife, I hope every one of you all that watch my channel know what's coming, because you've seen me open them and you're like, well, where's that knife at? Where's that knife at? Why ain't you talking about that knife yet? Oh, here it comes. I did save the best for last. I said I didn't put these in an order. I lied. I did save the best for last. I did. And those of you who know what my channel is all about, you know what this knife is without even me saying it. So I'm not going to show it. Never mind. I'll see you guys later. No, I'm joking. Boom. The Chris Reeves Umnumzaan. The fact that I just said that, the fact that I just said Chris Reeves Umnumzaan in my knife video, and it wasn't a knife that I wanted to get, it's a knife that I'm holding in my hands. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. To everybody, all I'll say is this. To anybody out there in this world that's in a rough situation, that's in a place you don't want to be, trust me, it'll get better. And one day you will look up and you will be doing something that you cannot believe that you are doing. And you'll look back at where you were and where you are, and you will be like, wow, I did it. I got through. I made it. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I've grown. I've learned. And I've moved on. That's what this is for me. That's you know, I'm 50 years old. This is a knife. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a tool. It's cool. It looks good. It's expensive. It's shiny. It's a knife. That's it. That's it. I get blown away by these things because, number one, I love them so much. I love knives. They're my biggest hobby. I love them like I loved baseball cards as a kid. But I get so, when it's knives like this, I get so passionate because of life. This is a metaphor for my life. And I'm thankful and I'm blessed. It's a magnet cut blade with a hollow grind. It is the Tonto tip. Now, would I rather have the drop point? Probably. Do I care? Absolutely not. titanium handles, and this is that frag pattern. It's got a frame lock, excellent frame lock. It does have a lanyard. I could probably do without the lanyard. It's got a non-reversible pocket clip. It's stationary. It is where it is. It ain't going nowhere. I would like a different pocket clip than this, but that's neither here nor there. That'll come in time. Frame lock, dual thumb studs. This thing is set up for a left-handed person, and I am left-handed. So the action on this thing is easy for me to open, even with my left hand. Now, if I switch to my right hand, I can open it with my right hand too. This is not like the McNeese. Even if I put pressure on the frame lock, I've noticed that I can still open this thing. I don't know why. I don't know the difference. But Chris Reeves is a master. He's a magician. If this was a Marvel movie, he would be Doctor Strange. Because the stuff he's pulling, I don't know how he does. We might be in an ulterior universe. Because the fact that I'm holding an Umnumzaan, I must not be in my life. I must be living somebody else's. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't deserve to be there. It is what it is. I'm blessed and fortunate already to have my kids, my 6 kids. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I told somebody last night in that email, even when I was broke, I always tried to make them feel like we was rich. You fake it till you make it. These things right here, I'm telling you, I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. The Chris Reeves Umnumzaan. Guys, keep your head up. Fake it till you make it. It is what it is. You will get through. In the words of somebody far, far more enlightened and smarter than me, this too shall pass. And it is what it is. Don't despise small beginnings. Because everything big started small. And, you know, just don't quit. Don't give up. Be thankful for what you have. And look forward to what you will have. But never lose sight of where you are. And you'll get through. I appreciate it, guys. I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. I appreciate every single person on this wall back here, every single viewer, every single subscriber, every single premium member. February was a fantastic month for me, for this channel, for my knives, for my collecting, for my family. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. And I wasn't going to do it because the list is getting so long, but let me just go ahead and do it because this is already 57 minutes. James McCann, War Room EDC, Ken Faulkner, David Young, None for Now, Mick Ranger, Mind Link, Viking View, Tyler Powers, Mike N, John Pepper, Mike J, James White, Tricky 48, Woods Walker, Mutt Stumbo, Dean Brame, Sandy Milne, Gilmore 23, Blake Bargansky, Bass, Blades, and Bikes, Daniel Smith, Roger Baker, Christopher Hinckley, Sebastian W. I love you, son. Thank you, every single one of you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. All you are my premium members. You all were in the premium member Knife of the Month giveaway the other night. War Room EDC won. Congratulations, War Room EDC. I've not heard from you yet. I need to hear from you. Email me so that I can get your knife out to you. That you won your Cansat Mini Accipiter. The new knife for the new month, Knife of the Month for March, the giveaway is this knife right here. And I did not put this in the list of knives that I got for the month of February as one of the best knives, even though it is one of the best knives that I got for the month of February, because I was planning on showing this at the very end. This is a knife that I got for the month of February. It is the Cold Steel Engaged. This is a 3.5 inch blade in S35 VN. It's got this lock. It's kind of like the Shark Demco lock, but it's a Cold Steel version. Excellent knife, dual thumb studs. It's fidgety as all get out. It's an excellent knife. This is the knife of the month for March. Somebody's going to win this. One of the premium members, the last day of the month, we will go live. We will put names in a hat and we will draw out one member from the premium members group. That member will win this knife. Free. Now, to be in that drawing, you have to be a premium member. Nobody has to join the premium memberships. If you're just watching my videos, if you're not even a subscriber, thank you, I appreciate you. If you're a subscriber, thank you, I appreciate you big time. If you want to be a premium member, all the money from that goes to the knives, not to me. I put all of that money back into knives, and the more subscribers and the more money there is, the nicer the knives will become. We might even get to where we're giving a couple away. We might get to where we're giving some Benzes away if there's enough people. If you are a member, Tier 1 gets you 1 name in the hat. Tier 2 gets you 3 names in the hat. Tier 3 gets you 5 names in the hat at the end of the month for a knife. If you're a Tier 1 member, that will give you 12 chances a year at a knife, always worth $100. This thing costs well over $100. And they will only get nicer and nicer and better and more expensive. So, Tier 1 member will get 12 chances a year at knives like this for $24 a year. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. I wish all of you sharp knives and happy lives. Take care.